Hey guys, welcome back to Man Interest 11. This is your boy Hellfish6 coming at you with another video. And this time it's going to be another tech review. We are going to be reviewing the iPhone 6s. This is the latest edition from the Apple lineup. This is the 64 gigabyte version in rose gold, or like my wife affectionately refers to it as the bitch pink color, but that's okay. I am secure in my manhood to rock the pink iPhone. And this is going to be my thoughts, impressions on it, and whether or not, if you are debating jumping over from Android or Microsoft into the Apple ecosystem, whether or not you should make that jump or not. So, without any further hesitation, let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we go. Like I said, this is an iPhone 6s review. This version of the iPhone is the 64 gig rose gold edition of the phone. And, right off the bat, you could tell it's a pretty well-made phone. But it's not perfect by any means. No phone is. So I'll start like I usually do with the pros and the cons, and then, my conclusion. So I'll start with the bad first. I mean, by now, everyone should be pretty much familiar with what you're getting with the iOS device. Apple really hasn't changed that much since 2007 and the first iPhone. But you're pretty much buying into Apple's walled garden, as it's called. And the bad part of that, you're getting a restricted experience. You're not rooting your phone as easily as in an Android. You can't customize the home screens. You can't tinker with the layout of the icons and change the icons if you wanted to. You know what you're getting with an iOS device. You're going to get, the rows and the columns. You're going to get icons for the apps. You'll be able to make some folders, and that's pretty much it. So, there's no surprises there. By now you should know what you're getting. And another thing is it's the same layout. Year after year it's the same layout. The thing that really bothers me about iOS devices is, after a few months it gets boring. Seeing the same thing every day. And that's what's really nice about Android phones. You get tired of it, you could customize the hell out of it. If you wanted to make your Android phone look like an iPhone, you can do so. You're pretty much restricted on how your iPhone's going to look. Now you can change the background and you can create folders and you could do things like that, but for the most part, you're just going to get your layout of icons, and that's pretty much it. The other con that I have to say, and I really hate to call this a con, but the fingerprint reader is so fast that it's very easy to miss out on notifications that are on the lock screen. So if you turn on your phone, you see that you have a message, you may not want to go right into the phone. You may just want to see the message itself, and you put your finger on the fingerprint reader, bam, the phone is open already. I guess you have to get used to using the power button and turn on the phone to see those notifications on the lock screen versus putting your thumb or your finger on the fingerprint scanner. Because the phone's just going to open up, and then you got to go through the extra step of going into your email app or your Facebook app or your messaging app. Wherever it was that your notification was at. The other con with messing around with iPhones, and this is really an iOS thing more than the phone itself, but you're only going to get your apps from the App Store, and that's it. And the problem with the App Store lately is that Apple likes to promote that they have millions of applications on the store. I think the problem though is 90% of them look like trash. There's so many free-to-play apps that are just are garbage apps, in-app purchases. Those aren't really quality apps, and I really don't like the way the layout and the sorting is done on the App Store versus the Android Play Store. But what advantage you're going to get though with that, and I want to go into the pros of that, is that you're going to get a lot of applications are made for the iOS first because of the popularity of the iPhone. So. So you got to take the good and the bad with that. Another con here, though, is 3D Touch. Now, I like 3D Touch. I think it's pretty useful. I usually use it on my messaging app the most. But the problem is there's very few apps that actually take advantage of the 3D Touch feature. And it's not very intuitive feature to use. You really got to remember to go into it and use it. And I guess, once you get the hang of using it, like I've pretty much gotten the hang of using it for the messaging app. And then you appreciate the half a second I guess you're saving versus doing it the long way. But definitely need more applications taking advantage of that feature, and I think that will catch on a lot better. And then finally, the biggest con of them all is the price. Now, this particular version of the iPhone is the 64 gigabyte version. This is $749 unlocked. It's pricey. You know, it's pricey. It's about $300 more than the Nexus 6P, but it's priced competitively with the Samsung's top of the line phone. So, you know, if you want the best phone that Apple's making, you know, which is, you know, in terms of storage, you're gonna pay a pretty penny for it. So it is an expensive phone. Now, Apple has come out this year with some options of kind of like layaway plans, or not layaway plans, more like, you know, you pay monthly for the device, and when you're done, you get to trade it in. So there are options if you don't want to drop the you know, the 750 right at bat and come home with the phone. There are other options for you to have to get the phone. Outside of that issue, there's really, you know, anything I can really find wrong with the phone. It's a great hardware, solid screen, and you know, it's a really good device. And to go into some more of the pros, you know, I love the fact that it has this little mute button right here. And for the life of me, I don't understand why Android phones don't have it. I don't think it's proprietary to Apple, because I remember the Palm OS devices having this way back in 04 and 05. So I'm not sure why Android devices don't have that little switch to easily mute the phone on and off. You know, it can be annoying. You're at the movie theater, you got to turn your phone off, or you want to silent it, you know, put it on silence, and you got to turn the phone on and then lower down the volume. Just it just doesn't seem like it's necessary. The screen is really nice. I mean, it's not super high res like the Note 5 or the Note Edge Plus, or even the Nexus 6P screen, but it still gets the job done. It still looks great. The Retina display is still top of the line according to what I can see. And the fingerprint printer, like, you know, I know I said it was a con earlier how fast it unlocks the phone, but you know, that's a pro too. I mean, it is extremely fast. This is definitely the best fingerprint scanner on the market. And I think the major reason why I'm using my iPhone as a daily driver for the last month since Christmas is the camera. I think this is the best camera in the game. It does 4K video. It does it extremely well. You know, you are going to need at least a 64 gig version to really take advantage of the 4K video, though, because of the large files. But if you get that version, you're going to get the best camera, you know, in all of the smartphones out in the market right now. And iOS 9 has come a really long way. You know, they have widgets, not in the traditional sense that Android does it, but you know, you can pull down from the screen and get widgets that way, or from like a notification bar. And if you pull up from the bottom of the screen, you get a control panel that gives you access to some features, which, you know, it saves you a little bit of time, and it shows that the iOS operating system is evolving over time. And you know, and they're grabbing some stuff from Android, which, you know, I'm definitely okay with. And Siri has gotten way better than she used to be. She's much more accurate. She's much more, I just turned her on. She's much more accurate than she used to be. I've been using her almost on a daily basis, you know, telling her, you know, to turn on do not disturb mode, turn it off, scheduling reminders, events, getting sports information, making phone calls, as a traveling guide for direction. So Siri has definitely stepped up her game in the last couple of months, or in the last few editions. And finally, you know, where really iOS shines is when you're using the native apps, the native Apple apps like Calendar, Reminders, Mail, Apple Music. Everything is synchronized really well, especially if you're using, you know, an iPad, if you're using a Mac. The continuity feature that is in the latest operating system syncs everything really well, like messages, your music. And so, in conclusion, I don't want this to drag out too long. The iPhone, it's a good phone. It's a solid, good phone, good screen. You're familiar with the OS already, but it really shines and takes it to the next level if you buy completely into the Apple ecosystem. You're using an iPad, you're using the Mac, and then you really see everything really come together nicely with the way your Notes is synced, Reminders is synced, Messages is synced, Safari is synced. Then you're really getting the top of the line experience with what iOS and the El Capitan can offer. All right, so I'm going to bring this video to a close. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for listening, watching. Let me know what I can do to improve. This is Man Interest Uno, and I am out.